And track number 2 on today's MSI. Let's head over to Tom, find out what he thought. Tom, track number 2, your thoughts?
Very tightly played. I wish there were, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a heavier rock group on MTV Unplugged, where this song has the potential to have a lot more power and really be a rocker and a heavy hit. The vocalist certainly has the chops for it. I didn't like the panning too much on the guitars, or the guitar sound in particular. I think they should have layered more guitars and definitely had at least one more guitar somewhere around the center pan. Again, the band played excellently. I thought, you know, very much in time. I was wishing to hear it swing more, you know, to give it that more of a rolling feel, and the arrangement is okay. I think they should just put this up a notch and put the electric guitars in or run the acoustics through amps. Let it really, stand out in full power, and the bass sound was good, but the song is minimal. I guess we can call this minimalistic week, but everything's there. It just needs to be made bigger, more powerful, layer some electric guitars and then have the acoustic guitars over them. But I was waiting for the big sound to come in, and it just didn't. But it's a well-written song, I thought, and again played excellently. And the mix was better than demo quality, but I think it should go back to the take it back into the studio and bring it up a notch all the way around.
All right, makes sense, Tom. Thank you. And Mark, what do you think of track number 2?
Well, if you had my video on at the same time as Tom's, you would have seen me shaking my head, because I was thinking that is shaking my head in the positive, because I agree completely with the fact that it just wasn't enough power. It felt to me like it was building up to be this really powerful rock song, and then I kind of felt a little let down. I understand the acoustic in the intro, and I really like the intro, although it was a little bit too long coming in. But I think that after that, bring in the electric guitar, bring in the rock sounds, make it more full. Just like I was saying in the previous song, it didn't feel like it was complete to me. Overall, the song was good. The guy's got a good voice. I think adding a few something else. It was just lacking, and the acoustic needs to be switched over to something harder, more into the song. That's my opinion.
All right, I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. And Ian, your thoughts?
Yeah, I did like this. This is my kind of music. The whole, as Tom was saying, the unplugged scene that happened with bands like Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam. I was big into that, and this has definitely got that feel. Like the vocalist, the intro was good. I like the build of the intro. Then the little hums came in, and it kind of set the tone for where the track was going. But vocally, it didn't for me. The lead vocal was good. A little low in the mix, I felt could have been just up there a touch more. But the harmonies and the layering of vocals, I think, lacked through the song. I would have liked to hear more of that. Very much in the style of Alice in Chains, Days of the News, Soundtrack of Our Lives, Puddle of Mud, bands like that, which has got a very big thing. I did expect the big guitars to come in. I did see the point where they could have come in, and I was kind of let down when they didn't. The big, heavy sort of Gibsons from a Marshall, detuned to sort of drop D or even drop C like Alice in Chains do sometimes. Big, roaring, heavy guitars undertoning the whole track. Because if you do go back and listen to some of the purely acoustic stuff bands like Alice in Chains have written, the acoustic work is a lot more involved than is on this track. It works like it is, but if it's going to be a real standalone, strong acoustic track, the acoustic needs a bit more work. Don't get me wrong, the playing was awesome. I liked the acoustic solo, but it needs to be a bit more involved to keep your attention as a purely acoustic track. The drums were tight, performance-wise. I would have liked to hear a slightly tighter sound. They were a little bit MIDI and dull for my liking. I would like to hear them a bit brighter and a bit tighter. And I found the bass guitar was very flappy. It needs some more compression. It needs to look at the EQ just to sort of bring it out and give it that drive that it had there, because it was there, but it wasn't driving like it should have done. Yeah, it's a good song. There's some stronger dynamics in there. The lyrics, the hook hasn't really stuck in my head. And I think a lot of that is possibly to do with it that it didn't really lift where it could have done with harmonies and extra bits added on the guitars. So I do like it. It's a good song. It's well recorded for what it is, but it does need some attention. It does sound like an MTV Unplugged song. If that is relevant in today's market, you know, Alice in Chains released a new album, didn't really have a big reception, so I don't think this would either.
All right, I appreciate that, Ian. And the track name is Save Your Diatribe. Maybe they were sending that to us specifically. No, I doubt it. Save Your Diatribe by Roderick76. Roderick76, thanks for sending that track in. Now then, let's go over to the guys and let them select a song of the week. Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you make your decision.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say, don't forget, put in your witness statement on our new page, witness statement. I'll just put the URL in the chat room for people to go and cast their votes.
Absolutely. We definitely want them to do that. Now I want to hear what your votes are, gentlemen. Anybody can start. It's open table here. Tom? Ian? Mark? Anybody?
I'm still thinking about it. It's
You see, I put my vote in on the witness statement, and I'll tell you what I've done. I have gone, best songwriting is for number 2. Best performance is no doubt number 1. But best mix and production has got to be really song number 3, I think. So I am very divided this week between where to go. I mean, I'm going to say, just to put the opening gambit in, the song number 2. Out of the 3, it's the song I would listen to again. It is very well done. It is very well written. It needs attention, but don't they all? So,
not surprised. I actually thought you would choose number 2. It seemed like more your style. And I was torn between number 2 and number 3. I am leaning towards number 2 as well. If they can add a little bit more oomph into the song, that would be the one out of the. If I had to choose one out of 3 to add to our rotation at Butterflies Radio, that would be the one I would go with. So I'm going for number 2.
And Tom?
Well, you know, I really was interested in song number 3, but one of the biggest deficits about being a mix engineer, producer, and working with, you know, a lot of big names and knowing what is potentially capable of doing, even with minimal equipment and stuff. And it just really, it bothers me. It actually angers me that, you know, number 3 is not as good as it should be. And I'd have, you know, I'm gonna have to make it across the board and say it too, because it was mixed well. You know, you could, you know, it may not have been the shining star that it should have been, but like Ian says, they're all lacking in some way or other. But 2 would be the song, and to tell you honestly, number 2 ticks me off almost as much as number 3. So it's sad to say the winner is by default rather than by standing out.
All right. Well, I appreciate your all's hard work on that. Number 2, Save Your Diatribe. Roderick76 is going to be our song of the week. Mark, as always, my friend, it's great to have you with us every time you come on. Thank you very much.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for having me back.
And
I would just like to announce our witness statement results.
Oh,
Rich.
please do, Ian.
So for best songwriting, song number 2 has been selected with 60% of the votes. For best performance, song 1 has been selected with 75% of the votes. And best mix and production, song 3 with 75% of the votes. Now that poll will be open all week, so you can listen to the podcast and go and cast your own votes. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes.
Excellent. Yeah, I definitely would be as well, and we will keep you all posted on that, and we will announce the final number tally on that during next week's show.